Good morning, everyone. Oh my goodness, I've been up for a while and I've been like trying to get some stuff done. I have so much. This is like my first day off in 18 days. No joke. I've worked like the past 18 days straight, and this is my first day off to actually get some stuff done. So, my daughter's baby shower is next weekend, and I'm, of course, hosting the baby shower. So, I've already talk to the venue to make sure everything is good to go with the venue. I have to go by the caterers and make sure that they have the menu correct. I got to go by the bakery and check and see how the cake is coming along. I just have so much to do. And I'm going to go shopping to get a really cute little maternity outfit for my daughter to wear to her baby shower. And of course, I have to find myself a new outfit. Hey, good morning. Myself a new outfit for the baby shower because I kind of want to match, if that isn't too, you know, ridiculous, but I kind of want my daughter and I to coincide with each other for the baby shower. I was not I was not excited when my daughter first told me she was pregnant. I was not excited at all. I was like, you're 21 years old. I want you to live life a little bit before you decide to settle down and have a child. I want you to experience things. But, she's 21. She is an adult. She does have a job. She does have an education. So, it is what it is. Now that it's 4 weeks away from the due date, I'm starting to get excited for Ava to get here. So that's my glam baby. My glam baby's name is going to be Ava. So I don't know if that just interrupted my broadcast or not, but I just got a phone call. So I have a couple of situationships going on right now. One happens to be in St. Louis for the weekend, so I can completely avoid him. The other one has his son for the weekend, but he's still wanting me to come around, and I'm just not really feeling that. So anyway, and then of course Harry. Harry is home for the weekend. He's been working out of town a lot. Hi, Aquarius. He's been working out of town a lot, but I did promise Harry that I would sit down and talk to him about some things to finalize some things between the two of us. So, I just have a lot going on, and I'm trying to enjoy the last beautiful weekend that we'll probably have in the Midwest. I don't know. Yeah, my glam baby will be here in 4 weeks. I can't wait. I can't wait to see her. I can't wait to hold her. I'm excited. I wasn't excited in the beginning, but I'm excited now. So I just got done at the tanning salon, and now I'm gonna head out to get a cup of coffee and then try to get the rest of my stuff done. So I'm not really I don't know. I don't really have too much to say as far as things that are going on in the sector. I'm trying this new thing where I'm trying to be a nicer person, and I'm trying to be a more positive person, and I'm trying to avoid negativity, and I'm just trying to be better. I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday, and tomorrow I'll try to be better than I am today. So that's just kind of where I'm at. But it's so easy to watch things in the sector and get caught back up, in the drama and in the negativity. It's very easy to get yourself caught up in that mess. And I just, I'm just kind of at a place where it's is it worth it anymore? Is it fun anymore? It's exhausting. Trying to keep up with everything is exhausting. So I'm just, I'm trying to be a positive person, and it's not working out 100% well, because I do have a mouth, and I'm not afraid to speak my opinion. I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind, and it's the same for me in real life. One of my situationships, we fight all the time, and it's because I'm not a submissive woman. I've never been a submissive woman. I'm an independent woman. I've always been independent. I've always taken care of me and mine. I don't bow down to anybody. I just don't. So he is a very dominant person. He has a very dominant personality, and my personality is very dominant, so we clash a lot. And He's like, he's like, you are just so mean. He's like, you are just a very mean person. And I'm like, I'm not mean. Like, I'm not one to apologize. I don't apologize. My form of apology is, I'm sorry that your behavior caused me to react this way. You should work on that. That's my apology. And I know that that's not okay. I know that's not okay. But that's just how I feel. Like, I don't come off like rude and mean and whatever in the beginning. It takes someone to like make me go there. It's like, if you didn't push me to that point, I would never have been mean to you. But I'm sorry that your behavior caused me to react this way. I don't know what else to say. But he's in St. Louis this weekend, so he and I, my situationship, this situationship, he and I were exclusive for a little while, until like I just couldn't deal anymore, like, with his bullshit and with his insecurity and with his accusations, and I just couldn't deal. Like, it was crazy. It was just, I don't know. But so on Wednesday, and I feel like so horrible for this, but on Wednesday this past week, he called me and he was like, hey, I'm leaving for St. Louis tomorrow. He's like, can you bring me that stuff that I left at your house? Because he's like, I want to pack it up and take it with me. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. So I went, I got all of his stuff together. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take him all of his stuff, because I feel like I got all of my stuff out of his house. And if I get all of his stuff out of my house, that kind of like breaks the exclusive type tie that we had at that time. So I got all his stuff together. I took it to his house. I had a date actually that night. I had a date with my other situationship. And so I'm on the phone with my other situationship, and he's like, where you at? And I'm like, I'm running some errands, I'll see you soon. And he's like, well, it's 5:00. He's like, you think you can meet me at 6? I said, yeah, I'll be at your house at 6. That was my plan. That was 100% my plan. I was going to drop this stuff off to situationship number 1, and I was going to continue with my date with situationship number 2, right? That was my whole honest plan. So I'm sitting there, I'm waiting on situationship number 1 to show up. He finally fucking shows up. He gets out of his car. I get out of my car. I get his stuff out of my car. I try to hand him his stuff. And he's like, for real? He's like, nah. He's like, you ain't just going to hand me my shit outside. He's like, just come on in the house. I said, I'm not staying. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, here's your stuff. I got to go. So what does he do? He turns around and he walks on in the house. Now, what I should have done at that point, and I realize that now, was I should have just left his shit sit outside. I should be like, fuck it. Here's your stuff. I got to go. But I didn't. So I go in the house. I take his stuff. I set it down on the sofa. I'm like, here's your stuff. I have got to go. And he's like, what do you mean you got to go? He's like, why are you rushing off? Where are you going? I said, that's none of your business. He's like, well, who you going with? I said, that's none of your business. He's like, well, can I go with you? I said, that would be very uncomfortable. So I turned to leave, and he grabs me by my arm, and he's like, do you have a fucking date tonight? I said, as a matter of fact, I do. I do have a date tonight. Yes, I do. And he's like, with who? I said, that's none of your business. So what does he do? This motherfucker grabs me by my hair and bites the shit out of my neck. Like, he bit the fuck out of me. Like, blood to the surface, teeth marks on my neck. And he looks at me and says, have fun on your date. How am I supposed to go with situationship number 2 with situationship number 1's teeth marks all in my neck? How is that supposed to look? I'm like, this dude is a fucking mess. He is like borderline crazy. So I'm like, for real? Did you really just do this to me? Like, what is your purpose? What is your point? Why? What is wrong with you? Did I say shit whenever like I ain't seen you for a few days and you just be out doing whatever the fuck you do I say shit to you? No, I don't do that shit to you. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't question what you do. I don't ask what you do. Why would you do this? Like, this is some bullshit. Yes, Bobby, he bit the fuck out of me. So after I went off on him, he bites me again. And now I've got 2 big ass areas on my neck of fucking bite marks. And I'm like, all right, I'm out. But I didn't leave because that shit kind of turns me on. I'm not gonna lie. I'm horrible. I'm fucking horrible. I'm not gonna lie, like that shit kind of turns me on. So I didn't leave. I ended up staying with him. That night. And I turned my phone off because I knew that situationship number 2 was blowing up my phone, wondering where the fuck I was at. The last thing I said to him was, I will see you at 6. And here I am, just like not answering the phone and not showing up. So I was incredibly a horrible person for that. I was horrible for that. I know that. I accept that. It is what it is, right? So I ended up staying with situationship number 1 that night. Yeah. And like, it wasn't just the bite marks. It was like, by the next day, there was a whole bunch of other marks in a whole bunch of other places. And like, yeah, it was all bad. It was all bad. So we get up on Thursday morning and we're in the shower. Well, I'm in the shower, and then he comes and he gets in the shower with me. But as soon as I turned my back to the water, I felt like my back was on fire. I'm like, what in the hell? Hold on, y'all. I got to order my coffee. Give me 1 second. Welcome back. How may we serve you today? Can I please get a large hot mocha with whole milk, extra whipped cream?
A large hot mocha with whole milk and the extra whipped cream, you said?
Yes.
Alrighty. Do you need anything else this morning?
Nope, that's everything.
That'll be 406.
Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, yeah, Jackie, I'm going to get to that in just a second. So, like, okay, so I'm in the shower. I turned my back to the water, and my fucking back just felt like it was on fire. So I reached back there to find out, like, what the hell is on my back that is making my back burn. He scratched his damn name into my back with his thumbnail. No joke. Hold on, yeah, let me pay for my coffee. Yes. No, I'm good. Thank you. Have a good day. So I felt like a blind man reading Braille on my back. I could feel the letters like carved into my back with his thumbnail. And I'm like, this dude was really just trying to fuck up my weekend because he won't be home until tomorrow. Like, everything was just like a hot mess. And he literally just tried to fuck me up for the weekend because he's not going to be here to like FaceTime me and find out where I am or what I'm doing or who I'm with. So anyone a potential husband. Okay, well, technically I'm still going through legal stuff with Harry. So no, there's not a potential husband at this time until I like resolve all of my issues with Harry, who has been working out of town a lot and he's home this weekend. And I promised him that we would sit down and talk and finish working out some things that we have to work out. But I'm at the point in my life where like I'm just not a good person in a relationship. I'm not a good person in a relationship whatsoever. And it's because like I'm so headstrong and I'm so stubborn and I know this about myself. I know what my problem is. I'm just not willing to fix it. And maybe that's selfish. I don't know. But I know like I know what my problem is. My problem is that I cannot submit. I try to be, like where I can work things like on a 50-50 type level, but it just doesn't work well for me. It's hard to explain, but I know that I'm a shitty person in a relationship. I know that I'm a shitty partner. I know that I'm selfish. I know that I'm headstrong. I know that I'm stubborn. I know that I don't give in easily. And I know that I can be straight disrespectful. So at least, like, I can admit these things, about myself. I know my shortcomings and I know what my problems are. I'm just not at a point where I'm willing to, like, buckle down and fix those things about myself. So I'm 40 years old. My children are grown. My youngest child is 16. My youngest child is 16. He'll be 17. So, in a sense, like, my children are grown. They all have their own vehicles. They all have their own jobs. My two boys are still at home, but my daughters are grown and out on their own. So, I'm just at a point in my life where, like, I've lived my entire life for my children, and now that my children are at an age and a point in life where I can go and do and be me, I just want to be I just want to live my best life. I want to be happy. I don't want to be. Hold on.
Put this lid on it to fit the extra whipped cream on it.
Thank you. You too. I'm not. I'm not at a place in my life where I want to be committed. Where I want to be. I'm just not there. I want to. I want to be happy. I want to have fun. I want to date. I want to be out there. I want to do what I want to do. I love to shop. I have a shopping addiction. I shop all the time. I don't need somebody telling me how much money I can spend or where I can spend my money. I'm not down for all that. Like, I work for my own, so I'll spend it the way I want to. I'm just not in a place where I know I'm a good person to be in a relationship with. So to spare other people oh my God, that coffee is so fabulous. To spare other people and to spare feelings, I just want to be me. I just want to be in a predicament where I can go and do what I want to do with who I want to do it and when I want to do it. I just want to be single. And I'm okay with being single. Like, there is nothing wrong with being a single person. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm okay sleeping in a bed by myself. I'm okay getting in a shower by myself. I'm okay doing all of that by myself. I'm okay with being alone. Because I'm alone when I want to be, and I'm not when I want to be. So that's just kind of where I'm at. And maybe one day that will change for me, and maybe I will meet somebody that I can actually see is worth changing for. Maybe I can come, but I haven't really met the person that's worth changing for. So why should I go through all these hoops to change myself or to change things about me when I haven't met anybody worth it? So why not just continue to be me? Like, I don't know. There's some women in the world that think that they have to have somebody, right? There's some women in the world that without having a partner in their life, they're miserable, they're lonely, whatever. I'm not one of those women. I'm not one of those women at all. I don't have to have somebody that I say, oh, that's my dude, that's my man. I don't have to have that person. Which is why I know I'm shitty in a relationship. And this asshole is going to just, all right. Which is why I know I'm shitty in a relationship. And that's why I choose to have situationships. I prefer a situationship over a relationship. Because in a situation, a situationship is situational. And like I tell my situationships, tonight might not be your situation. But situationship number one, I was actually, like, in a relationship with him. And he is having a hard time accepting the fact that that's not what I want in my life. I don't know so much, Harley, that romance has died in 2020. I don't know if it's that the romance is dead, or I just, for me, I mean, it might for some people, but I think that there's some people out there that still have romantic moments with people that they love. I'm just not one of those people, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with not having romance. I don't need romance, I don't need all that. I don't need men to buy me jewelry, buy me clothes, buy me flowers. Flowers die. What's the point? They're pretty for a minute and then they die. I don't need men to Send me chocolate covered strawberries. I don't need none of that. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Sorry, love. You know, I just like being me. I love being me. I love me. So, you know, that's just kind of where I'm at. Like, where today I'm gonna enjoy the day by myself and going to the bakery and to the caterers and going shopping for me and my daughter and finish getting all the decorations. I've already talked to the venue yesterday to make sure that, like, you know, everything is set to go for the venue. Um, you know, I'm gonna enjoy the day by myself. I might even turn off my phone because I just don't want to deal with people. And I have, you know, I have moods that I get into where I just don't want to deal with people. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to see people. You know, I just want to do what's on my agenda, get my agenda done, and then, like, later on, we'll see how I feel. So what do I want? I'm not really sure. And that's as honest as I can get. I'm not really sure what I want. And that's why, like, being single is the best thing for me. Because I don't know. I don't know. I know that I don't want what I've already had, you know. I don't like clingy men. I can't stand a man that is clingy. Like, I don't have to be up a dude's ass 24/7. So I would appreciate it if he wouldn't be up mine 24/7. You know what I mean? Like, when you text me or when you call me, if I don't answer, it's because I'm in the middle of something. It has nothing to do with you as a person. It just means that I'm busy, whether it be that, like, I'm busy with one of my kids, or I'm busy with my job, or I'm busy with something else going on in my life, my family, whatever. It doesn't mean that I'm avoiding you or I don't want to speak to you. It just means that in that moment I can't take your call. So when I can't take your call, please do not start blowing me up with text messages, Facebook messages, sad faces, crying faces. Where are you at? What are you doing? Why won't you answer? I can't. That right there is a huge turn off to me. That is a huge turn off to me. And I will stop speaking. I will cut you off. Because I just can't do it. I can't, Harley. I cannot. That, like, and I've had that happen to me. I've had that happen to me with a particular person where, like, if I was busy and I couldn't answer the phone, you know, that's what I got was, like, back-to-back text messages, Facebook messages, crying faces, sad faces. And then the accusations start rolling in. Like, oh, you're cheating on me. I'm not cheating on you. I'm just not answering the phone right now. I'm just not answering the phone right now. I'm busy. It doesn't mean I don't want to speak to you. It means I will call you back when I'm not busy. Do you know how many times I've been accused of cheating on somebody? I mean, and I'm not going to lie. There's times that I was guilty. I was guilty. Yes, I did. Yes, I did cheat. But then there were times I was completely innocent. And I'm like, fuck, you can't win for losing. But if I cheated on you, then stop and ask yourself, what did you do to make me cheat? Because I'm not going to do it for just no reason. So ask yourself, what did I do wrong that made her cheat on me? Because that's what you men do to us women. Y'all make us sit and wonder, what did I do wrong as a woman? What was I not given enough as a woman that he cheated? So if you're a dude and I cheated on you, ask what you did wrong. I love this troll. This troll right here cracks my shit up. This one right here, this mercenary man, this troll cracks me up. Because no matter what I'm doing, whether if I'm in a chat room, whether I'm doing a live, whether I make a video, nobody cares. But he, she, whoever, always shows up. Always shows up. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you. I'm not old. I'm 40. 40 is like not old. I'm getting there. Shit, trust and believe that. I'm getting there. I'm getting up there. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm 40. He stalks you too, Jackie. I know, it's crazy, right? I love how like some of these people are like, nobody cares. Why are you do? But yet you're always fucking here every single time. I can count on you. If I had one person watching, it would be that troll. Because for somebody who doesn't care, they're always there. I know, I meant to tell Jackie that too. The avatar is hilarious. I love the avatar. And what is with this election? Like, can it just be over with by now? Can it just be over? And now Trump is talking about suing the states that voted against him. What kind of shit is that? How can you sue a state because they don't want you as your president? Like, get over it. You're losing. You're losing. Finally, somebody gets to look at his little orange ass pumpkin face and say, you're fired. Of course, Jackie. Of course, just because that particular person doesn't go live anymore or doesn't post videos up on their channel anymore, it doesn't mean that they're not around. It doesn't mean they're not around. They're always going to be around. Because the sad thing about this shit right here is some people, content creators, panel hoppers, people who don't create content, but they love to hop on panels, trolls, no matter how many times they say that they're leaving the sector or that they're going to go away, they don't. They don't. They don't go away. Right, Harley? It's ridiculous. You know why he's been away, but you're not going to say nothing, though? I know one day you will, Jackie. One day you'll spill the beans, and we'll all be here to listen to it. Jackie is a troll too, but Jackie also has created content that we've all laughed and enjoyed. I don't care who you are. Everybody has seen Jackie's content at one point in time and has laughed. Exactly, Harley. Even those that fake their death, they come back. Oh, you think that picture is, but you should see me right now. Like, I'm a hot mess right now. My hair is like all over the place. I just left the tanning salon. I'm a hot mess right now. Explain how you talked. Hold on. Explain how you talked about Lamar for 5 years, but now his flunky. Well, let me explain this. I'm nobody's flunky, first of all. I'm my own person. I do what I want. I say what I want. I go where I want. People agree. People disagree. It is what it is. I agree with some people. I disagree with some people. It is what it is. I think that like Lamar and I both have said that yes, we had a beef for 5 years, but honestly, like thinking back when it all started, it was so petty and stupid and pointless, and it was entertainment for 5 years. So you guys enjoyed it for 5 years, and now you want to complain about it because I'm not sitting here talking shit on Lamar? You want to complain about it because I'm not fighting with Lamar? I think Lamar and I entertained you guys for 5 fucking years. Wasn't that long enough? Did you want 10 years out of it? Like, what did you want? Okay. I have no problem whatsoever. I have no problem whatsoever with talking about this. So, I'm sorry, I gotta take my jacket off because it's getting a little warm. So, my whole life, okay, going back into like childhood, teenage years, young adult years, even in my 30s, oh my God, I'm about to tell y'all something. I'm about to tell y'all something like extremely like embarrassing, and you can make troll accounts on it all you want to. I don't care. You can talk about it all you want. I don't care. But I'm about to tell y'all what my nickname was. Okay. So, growing up, my whole life, from childhood all the way into my 30s, like I was like a stick figure. I had no boobs. I had no hips. I had no thighs. I had no nothing. I was like 5'10" and 130 pounds. Okay. I was 5'10". I was 130 pounds. And no matter what I did, I gave birth to children. And I still could not gain weight. I still could not put on weight. I was still pencil thin, and I looked like a crackhead. I was so skinny for being as tall as I am. And being that small in weight, I was extremely small. So when I started to get sick and I got put on medications, well, first of all, let me back it up. The first thing I got was the depot shot. Okay. At the time that I started on the depot shot, my doctor, I was concerned about like gaining weight because I knew like a lot of women that had gained a shit ton of weight from the depot shot. My doctor told me that I could potentially gain up to 25 pounds. He's like, but honestly, Catherine, you need to gain 25 pounds. Like, I would drink Ensure. I would drink Boost. I ate like crazy. Like, I would eat all day long. I love junk food. I'm a junk food junkie. Brownies, cookies, candy, hot dogs, pizza, burgers, you name it, I ate it. And I could just never fucking gain weight. I would drink Boost. I would drink Ensure. I would do all that, and I could never fucking gain weight. So I got put on the depot shot, which is for birth control, because I did not want to have any more children. And as I got older in my age, I could no longer take the pill because I was at a greater risk for strokes and all that stuff. So I went on depot. I gained 25 pounds in the beginning on depot. Depot is horrible, but it made me gain weight. It actually put weight on me. I was starting to look better. I was actually starting to have a figure. My nickname, no joke, you can ask my sister, because my sister, that fucking bitch, I love her, but my sister is the one who started my nickname, and it was Two Back Cat. Two Back Cat, because I had no chest and I had no backside. I was flat as a fucking board. I had no hips. I had no nothing. I was just a tall, skinny stick who could never gain weight. No, Harley, because that shit looks disgusting in your arm. So, here I am on the depot shot. I start gaining some weight. I'm actually starting to get a figure. I've got hips now. I've got a booty now. I've got all this going on now. My boobs started to grow. I started to get boobs. Like I was starting to get a figure. Well, when everything else happened later on down the road with things in my health that I'm not going to get into, I've actually put up my medical records. I have proven my medical records. But when I started getting put on medications and when I started having surgeries, I started to lose the weight again. Well, then when my heart started to go bad, which was back in 2016, is when I had my first episode when they were trying to figure out what was going on with my heart. I was on so many medications. I was on so many heart medications. And Lamar can actually tell you this because when I was in Michigan, I had all my pill bottles there. I was on Corlinor, I was on metoprolol, I was on atorvastatin, I was on Lasix, potassium, metolazone. I had so many fucking medications for my heart. It was ridiculous. And I knew that, like, being on all these medications, I was gaining weight. I knew that I was. I didn't know how much weight I was gaining. I really didn't. I honestly did not know how much weight these medications were making me gain until I got back from Michigan and I saw those videos and I was like, oh my God. Like, I knew that I had gained some weight, but I did not realize how much weight those medications were putting on me. And you know, the sad part about it is, the saddest part about it was that even though I was faithfully taking all of my medications, they were doing nothing for me. They were not even working. Like, my heart was still not okay. No matter how many times a day I took those pills, no matter how many times they increased my dose, no matter nothing, the medications were not working. So when I got home from Michigan and I saw those videos, I felt some type of way. I really did. I did. I felt some type of way. And I looked at all my pill bottles. I was sitting there just staring at them. And I'm like, what's the point? What's the point? They're not making me any better. They're not fixing anything. I don't feel any better in my life. What is the point? So I stopped taking them. I cold turkey stopped taking all of my medications. Just stopped. I weighed, listen, I'm going to be honest about this because I don't care anymore. I weighed 217 pounds. When I stepped on the scale, I weighed myself for the first time and I weighed 217 pounds. I have never weighed that much in my entire life. Never. Never. So I stopped taking all of my medications cold turkey. Just stopped. And I called my doctor's office and I talked to Nurse Nancy, his nurse practitioner. And I told her, I said, listen, I can't do this anymore. I said, I'm taking all of these medications every day of my life. They're not doing nothing for me. I'm not getting any better. What is the point? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I taking these pills? My Corlinor? I was on a medication called Corlinor. I paid $1,000 a month out of pocket for Corlinor because it was such a new medication that my health insurance, United Healthcare, would not cover that medication. So I'm paying over $1,000 a month because I had copays on all my other medications for medications that were not working. So the nurse practitioner, Nurse Nancy, she was like, Catherine, you know that you're a nurse. You know that you cannot just stop taking medications cold turkey. We need to taper down your doses. I said, I don't care. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with these medications. I'm done with all of this. My heart surgery was scheduled for the 18th of September. So I went in for my my pre-op. I went in for my pre-op appointment and I stepped on the scale and I weighed like 195 pounds. I went from 217 to 195. Okay. So my doctor said to me, he's like, you stop taking all of your medications, you know the risks, you know the dangers. He's like, you have your surgery scheduled for the 18th of September. What if the surgery doesn't work? What are you going to do then? And I'm like, well, you're my doctor. You need to figure that out. So by the time I stopped taking the medications, like the latter part of June, it was sometime in June of this year, I stopped taking the medications. By the time I went in for my actual heart surgery on the 18th of September, I was down from 217 pounds to 175 pounds. So I went from 217 to 175 from like the middle of June, the latter part of June, until September 18th. I had my heart surgery. Ever since my heart surgery, I am on a medication. I do have to take a medication for 1 year. It's called Plavix. I have to take Plavix for 1 year because it's supposed to, I got stents put in my heart. So it's supposed to keep my stents from getting clogged, from getting like a blood clot in my stents. So I have to take that for 1 year. I'm not worried about taking that one pill for a year. Now I weigh 165. I'm 5'10" and I weigh 165 pounds. And honestly, where I'm at right now, I do not want to gain any more weight from where I'm at right now. And I don't want to lose any more. I don't even want to lose any more weight. But it's like, I just can't help it. Like the weight just keeps coming off. And I don't want to be 130 pounds again. So I eat Taco Bell every single day. I swear to God, I'll show you the receipts. I eat a chicken chalupa every single day from Taco Bell. I get a chicken chalupa with no tomatoes, add nacho cheese. Every single day I eat a chicken chalupa because I don't want to lose any more weight, but I don't want to gain any more weight either. I want to stay exactly where I am. I'm 5'10", I weigh 165. This is where I want to stay. I still have some thighs. I still have some booty. I still have some boobs, and I don't want to lose it all. How did you know you had heart problems? So back in 2016, I went with Tiffany to Iowa. Tiffany and I had gone up to Iowa. We were there for the weekend. And out of nowhere, my feet started to swell. I mean, like my feet were like huge. Like I could barely put them in my shoes. That's how my feet just swelled up so big. And I didn't know why. And we couldn't figure it out. So we went to a pharmacy and I got some like over-the-counter water pills, and I started taking those to see if I could get the swelling to come off of my feet because we could not. I don't know why my feet just swelled up so big that I could barely get them into my shoes. And so we got back to the hotel, and I took some pillows and I put my feet up. I elevated my feet to try to get the swelling down, and they were like hurting so bad. Like I could barely even, like when I was walking, it hurt really bad to even just walk. I felt like, especially like my right foot was more swollen than my left. And so I was dragging, like literally I was dragging my foot. And at first I thought that maybe it was a part of my MS. I thought that I was having because I have RRMS. It's called RRMS is relapsing multiple sclerosis. So I thought that I was having an attack from my MS. So that night when we went to sleep, everything was fine. I felt fine. You know, my feet were still swollen. My feet were still hurting, but I felt okay physically. So in the middle of the night, I woke up to go to the bathroom. I went into the bathroom. I came out of the bathroom, and I was so lightheaded and dizzy. I felt like the room was spinning, and I felt like it sounded like a washing machine in my head. It was like whoosh, 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 whoosh in my head. And I thought that I was going to pass out. So I yelled out for Tiffany, and she immediately woke up and turned the lights on, and she's like, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" I said, "I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't breathe. I can't catch my breath. My heart was like at 180. My heart was beating at 180." And Tiffany called 911. So when I first went into the hospital, you know, they couldn't figure out anything. They couldn't figure out what was going on. They were looking at because I had other health issues. So they were looking into my other health issues. They weren't even thinking about my heart at that time. They were trying to figure out like if my other health issues were causing this to happen to me. When I got back into like my normal doctors in Kansas City, my primary care, he was like, you know what? He's like, I think I want you to see a cardiologist. He's like, I really think you need to see a cardiologist. So I went to Dr. Van Jones was my first, no, I'm sorry. Dr. Carrie Tata was the first cardiologist he sent me to. I went to Dr. Tata first. And she did an echo on my heart, an EKG on my heart. She did a stress test on my heart. And then I had to wear a heart monitor. I had to wear, it's called a Holter monitor. And I had to wear a Holter monitor for 30 days. After I went through all of that, that's when they found out that I had SVT. They diagnosed me with SVT. That was my first diagnosis, was supraventricular tachycardia. Well, as my SVT got worse, it led into atrial fibrillation. As the AFib got worse, it led into chronic heart failure. As that got worse, it led into swollen feet. It led into multiple medications. It led into Lasix and metallazone and potassium, because the Lasix was depleting my potassium, and the potassium helps regulate your heartbeat. So it led into all this stuff. And every time I was put on a medication, I had to be put on another medication to help control the first medication and to keep me from getting side effects. So it was medication after medication after medication after medication after medication. And I was like, I just can't fucking do it no more. So when I did my heart surgery on September 18th of this year, it was a 5.5-hour procedure. They went in through the left side of my rib cage, which when I push there, I still have a knot. I still have a knot there, and it hurts when I touch that area. And then they went in through the bilateral growing. So they did a cryoablation on the right chamber of my heart, where they went in and they froze out the section of the right chamber of my heart that doesn't beat correctly. They burn out, they froze all that tissue in that part of my heart. They froze it. For some reason, when my electrodes were firing in my heart, that section of my heart was not catching on, and it was not beating properly. So they froze out that section. They rewired the electrical system of my heart, and they put in 2 stents. And since my surgery, which I'm like 6 weeks post-op, Since my surgery, I have been feeling fantastic. I feel great. I feel alive again. I still have, intermittent issues with my MS. I still do have some here and there little things with my MS that flare up, like, leg pain, hip pain, back pain, nerve pain. I do still every once in a while, not very often, but every once in a while I have some effects from my MS. But as far as my heart goes, I feel fantastic. My heart rate has not gotten above 80. Where normally my normal heart rate was beating before my surgery, my normal heart rate was beating between 120 and 130. My heart rate has not been above 80 since my surgery. So I feel fantastic. I have not had any issues whatsoever with my heart not beating properly. I went into my doctor for my post-op checkup, and they did an echo, and they said everything looks great, everything is doing great, my stents are working properly, everything is good. Knock on wood. Knock on wood, it stays that way. But I'm feeling fantastic from my surgery. I feel I have so much energy. I actually, when I sleep at night, I actually sleep, like, whereas before I felt like every night or every morning when I would wake up, even, it didn't matter how many hours I would sleep, I felt like I was not rested at all. And it's because my heart was going crazy all night long. Now I feel like I actually rest and I actually get sleep and I feel good. I can do things now that I couldn't do before my surgery, because I had to be very careful with my activity, because my heart rate was already at an abnormal rate. And if I did things that would, like, increase that rate, I would be putting myself into danger for my heart to go into AFib. But now I can do those things. I can do things that I couldn't do prior to my heart surgery. And I feel great. Like when Harry and I were in Utah, we climbed this mountain to go look at some ancient Indian, what do they call those things? Pyroglyphics or whatever those things are called. You know, like the carvings that they put in the caves and stuff. Well, we climbed this mountain in Utah to go look at some of these old ancient Indian carvings. And by the time that and it took me forever to climb that mountain. It took me forever to climb that mountain because my heart. And Harry kept saying, why don't we just stop? Why don't we just stop? We'll go back down. And I kept saying, no, I don't want to go back down. I want to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this for myself. If I have to keep stopping and taking breaks and drinking water or doing whatever I have to do, I will do that. But I'm going to make it to the top of that mountain. Now, I could probably get out there and climb that mountain with no problem. So I feel great. I feel healthy. I couldn't go to a gym and work out because I couldn't let my heart rate get above a certain, I couldn't let my heart rate get too fast. I couldn't do those things. And now I can. So that's kind of like why I'm on this whole trying to be a better person, trying to be a more positive person, because I now feel like I can live life again. And I don't want to live my life as a negative person who attracts negative energy and who puts out negative energy. So yeah, my heart is doing fantastic. I've lost like well over 40 pounds. I stopped taking all of those medications. I feel great. I feel alive. And I feel like the best way for me to pay it forward is to be a more positive person, to put out positive energy and stop attracting so much negative. Yeah, I have RRMS, which honestly, with relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis, there are days when like I walk and I can walk without a problem, but it's just a little harder for me to walk than a normal day, especially like if I'm in a lot of pain. And I don't take pain medication. If it's not Tylenol or ibuprofen, I don't take it. So, I was diagnosed with RRMS in 2011. Yeah, it's a terrible disease depending on what form of MS you have. There are 4 different forms of MS. Yeah, trust me, Jackie, I feel her. I feel her pain because there are some days where it takes everything I have just to get out of the bed and make my legs move. And the most of my leg pain is like more like in my hips and in my thighs. I used to ride my horses all of the time. I would go outside, like I would get up early in the morning. I would saddle up a horse at 6 o'clock in the morning and I would ride all day long. And I wouldn't come home till sunset. And I can't do that anymore. I can't do that anymore because of my RRMS. I can't do it. Like if I go ride, I can probably do like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Is all I've got left in me. And I hate it because riding my horses was one thing that was always like my peace. I can't run in the Pony Express. I can't run barrels anymore. I can't do any of that because I just physically can't do it. And it sucks because the rodeos and riding my horses were like my whole life next to my kids. So it really sucks. But yeah, I feel her pain on that. But there are 4 different types of RRMS, and I am blessed that I have, or 4 different types of MS, I'm sorry, but I'm blessed that I have RRMS. Because I can go for months and be perfectly fine and not have any effects at all. But then I can go for a couple of weeks where it just kicks my ass for a couple of weeks. And then I can go for months and be perfectly fine. And then I can go for months and feel like shit. So, it's that's why it's called RRMS. It's relapsing, remitting. So it's not crime. It's not, it doesn't happen all the time. I have relapses. And I did the whole Copaxone injections. I did all that stuff. And to be honest, like the beta seron and the Copaxone injections, those are a waste of money. Because it's supposed to, like, beta seron and Copaxone, they will not cure your MS because there is no cure for MS. It's a degenerative nerve disease. It's a degenerative nerve disease that eventually will be like, eventually you could be debilitated. You could be completely debilitated from MS. So what happens with MS is your nerves, all of your nerves in your body are covered by what they call a myelin sheath. It's like a protective covering. It's a protective covering over your nerves. So with MS, it's a degenerative nerve disease. So as your MS progresses, that protective covering of your nerves, and the reason why your nerves have a protective covering is because they pass each other throughout your body. They just go past each other, right? Constantly. They're constantly just like riding on by each other, like driving in a car and you got a car in another lane. Well, what happens with MS is as your MS progresses, that protective covering that's around your nerves, it disintegrates and it goes away. So now, as you're driving your car down the lane and there's a car in the lane in the opposite direction coming towards you, and now it's like you're side swiping each other. Every time you drive, you're side swiping other cars. That's the best analogy I can come up with to explain how MS works. So as that protective covering wears away, it wears away slowly, slowly, it wears away. Your nerves now have nothing to protect them. And so as they're passing each other, it's causing friction. It's causing friction and it's degenerating those nerves. Like they're just slowly debilitating. It's a very slow and progressive illness. So, yeah, but the best analogy I can give to explain how MS works is if you're driving your car down a lane and there's another car in the lane next to you, but it's coming towards you, on a normal day, you guys are just driving right on by. Nothing, no big deal, right? Well, as the protective covering of your nerves wears away, now every time you're driving down that lane and another car is in a lane next to you, you're just side swiping. If that makes any sense. So on days that my nerves are side swiping each other, it's really hard to get my legs to work. But, I can't complain. I have a good life. I do have a good life. I can't complain. I have an amazing family. I have amazing, beautiful children. I have an amazing career. I can't complain. I can't. Things in life could be so much worse than what they are for me. I have a beautiful home, beautiful horses, nice vehicles. Things could be so much worse. So, I got to be grateful for what I have. I have to be grateful for what I have because there's a lot of people out there that don't have it as well as I do, or as well as others may have. There's people out there that have it better than I do, and that's okay. It is, Jackie, and my kids feel that way too. Like my kids know, like if I'm in the bed and I'm not getting out of bed, my kids know because my boys are still at home. My girls are not, but my boys are still at home. So if I'm not out of bed by a certain time, then my boys know it's a bad day for me. They know it's a bad day for me, and they hate my bad days. My boys absolutely hate my bad days. I can honestly say I hate my bad days. I hate spending the day in bed. I'm not a person to spend the day in bed. Like, I wake up early in the morning and I go 90 to nothing all day long. You know? And that's why, like, I just look at everything in my life right now, and that's why I just want to live my best life. I want to live every day for what it's worth. I don't want to miss anything. So any chance I have to go on a vacation, I go. You know, even if it's just like going to Tennessee for a weekend, or going to Arkansas for a weekend, or going to Oklahoma for a weekend, or whatever, I go. I go. Because when I leave this earth, see, here on a headstone, okay? On a headstone, you have the year somebody was born, then you have a dash mark, and you have the year that they died, right? Right? Well, that one little tiny dash mark is supposed to represent all the years that they lived from birth to death. I want my dash mark to count for something. I don't want it to be just a line on my headstone. I want it to be meaningful. I want it to mean something. I want to do things in that little tiny dash of life that I get. I want to experience things. I want to see things. I want to go places. So I encourage everybody, make that dash count. Make that dash on your headstone count for something. Even in the middle of a pandemic, I have been to 29 states this year in 2020. I've been to 29 states in 2020. Why? Fuck a pandemic. I want my dash mark to count for something. Because nobody else is going to make that line count but me. So I encourage all of you, when you get out of bed, and it doesn't even matter, it could be something small, but make your dash count. Whether if it's going out with your friends and having a good laugh, or going to a party, or going to the bar and having a drink just to loosen up from a bad day, make your dash count. Whether you're behind on your bills because the coronavirus has put you in a financial bind, and you can finally sit down today and pay a bill that you've been behind on, make that dash count. Feel accomplished for something in your life. Because that's my goal. Fuck the negativity. Fuck the silly arguing. Fuck the hurtful words. Fuck trying to hurt somebody else because I feel like they hurt me first. I want my dash to count. And I'm not going to make it count for shit if I'm spending my time and my energy being negative. So yeah, I like situationships. I don't want to be tied down right now. I'm making my dash count. So, anyways, it is now 10 o'clock my time. So the stores are opening up and I've got to get this stuff done, guys. I'm working all week. So I'm going to be really busy with my job. And this is like my first day off in 18 days. So finally I'm going to make my dash count today. I have a lot to do. Like I said, I got to go to the bakery, the caterer. I got to go shopping. I have a lot of stuff to do. So, but I've enjoyed being here with you guys for the time that I've been live and you guys have been listening. I don't care how many views I get. I don't care how many thumbs up I get. I don't care how many comments I get. I don't care about none of that. If I can say one thing that makes sense today, then take that from the time that I've been sitting here rambling. But today I encourage you all to get out and make your dash count. And have a great day, guys.